Imagine leading a team of 40 people across 8 different countries, winning the Star Award at a global tech giant, and having dinner with your company's chairman as a top Gen Z talent. Most people would call that making it. But today's guest decided making it was just the beginning. She packed her life into 2 suitcases, moved to Melbourne, and hit the reset button. 1 year later, she's the research coordinator at the University of Melbourne, a 2026 Study Melbourne Ambassador, and a powerhouse in the Vietnamese tech community, all while maintaining a H1 WAM. Hailey Dang, welcome to the podcast. Let's start with the reset button. So you were a Star Award winner at FPT Software in Vietnam. You have the security, seniority, and massive network. Why give that all up and move to Melbourne and start all over as a student?
Oh wow, I got a lot of people ask me these questions, but yeah, I think I didn't see it as giving up everything. I saw it as choosing the next version of myself and start a new challenge and start a new journey of myself. So I think at FPT Software, I had a career that I was so proud of myself. I tried my best. I did a lot of things. I was leading teams. I working across countries. I work with a lot of stakeholders coming from all around the world, and I got the recognition as well. So I feel so grateful that I worked for FPT Software for 4 years before I started my master in the University of Melbourne. But at some point, I always ask myself, am I going to the next version of myself if I'm here? Am I still growing or I'm just getting better at something I already know? So I think moving to Melbourne is a very intentional reset for me because I wanted to experience global perspective and take from a very diverse environment. And I want to challenge myself in a new environment as well. I love traveling and I love exploring the world as well. So I think Australia is the top choice for me at that time. So coming here with 2 suitcases was a little bit humble actually, but I think back home people knew me a lot. They knew me, what I did, what I was good for. But when I came to Melbourne, I had to introduce myself from zero. No one knows me, and I needed to build my trust, from other people. I needed to build my support system. I needed to build my friends from the scratch, and I need to learn to be open again. I need to relearn all the things. So I think it's more exactly the point that I want to challenge myself because I think that the great point of life transition is about growing, and you will grow through the way you put yourself in totally new environments, and then you try to learn to adapt with the new environment, and you try to be open again. You try to create value wherever you are and whenever you meet someone new or meet a new challenges. So I think that's the reason why I chose Australia and choose a new journey of mine after 4 years of working full time in tech industry.
That's really cool, like keeping a growth mindset and always accepting a new challenge and going to somewhere that is strange to you. And it's a really a lot of encouragement. And coming here, you knew almost no one. And most students stay within their comfort zone, within their safety of their immediate class for months. But you were everywhere from day one. So in your first 30 days here, what was your specific strategy for meeting people who were just not in your lecture theater?
Well, I think for me it's very simple, but it's the best strategy ever that I ever, done in my life. Is about keep showing up. Just keep showing up. I treated connection as a part of my timetable. It's not about something that I have free time, but it's about something I want to do because I know that when I have more connection here in the new environment, it will help me a lot to immerse myself in Melbourne and to, when you meet a lot of interesting people and you can learn a lot from them. So in the first 30 days, I made myself to say yes to events, even that some events I need to go alone. Like I will never do it if I was in Vietnam, but I do it when I was in Melbourne. So yeah, some activity like student events or you know fast dating meetup from GSA or something like that. Yeah, career sections, volunteering opportunities, and casual campus gathering, lunch, free lunch, dinner. So I think like for me, I didn't only ask that whether this connection or this event will help me, will have my career, but instead I will ask whether it helped me to understand more about the context or about the environment that I'm currently studying in, I'm currently living in. So I think that to thrive ourselves in a new environment, we need to understand how to do it and how other people they already succeeded in that way, so we can learn from the path and then we adapt with our strengths and our weaknesses, and then we can create our own strategy for build up the next steps, the next plan here. So for me, it's always about showing up, and I think like the first conversation is very difficult. We are speaking in second language and we don't really understand the small talk that I are talking about, and we don't really understand the joke or maybe some slang in Australia. I think it's all right. Maybe just need to try more and then ask more questions. So yeah, things will unfold and a lot of people will come to you after you show that you genuinely want to learn. And I think that's my tips about like always keep showing up.
Yeah, meeting people and keep showing up is always a very good strategy for the new students, because once you know more people, you know more about the pace and you better know more about what you can do in your next step. And you have said that the international students should be contributors to Australia and not just participants. And one of your growth rules is just to stay open. And can you share a specific time this year when, for example, you say yes to something small or unexpected, maybe a role that you didn't think you have time for,
Mm,
but eventually that led to a major opportunities, like your appointment as a Study Melbourne Ambassador?
mm. All right, so I think like stay open is something that you don't really like. It's not mean judging an opportunity from the outside look. For example, maybe first it will seem very difficult, challenging, or it's kind of something bigger than you think you can do. But when actually you do it, and it can lead you to a lot of things and unexpected things afterwards. So I think like for one example that I can share is about my orientation week. Like the first year when I first came here, and during the orientation week when I said yes to join just a very normal activity, like I think like 30 minutes introduction event about Melbourne Plus. I at that time I didn't know to develop leadership in the university. I didn't know about that, so I just joined because I'm curious. And when I joined that event, I met two amazing girls, and now she still be my friend, and she's amazing. And if you guys listen to this podcast, she Ashley and she shout out to all of you. Yeah, so thanks to her, thanks to both of my friends that I met in the event, I know more about Melbourne Plus. I know more about the life in the university, how international student and how local student, domestic student can thrive here in the university. So I can see a different perspective from different, people. And then through the conversations, they talk with me a lot, and through some of their stories when they post in Instagram, I know more about Melbourne Plus. I know more about the university activity. And I 1 year later, like I think like not really 1 year, I think like 6 months later, there's one opportunity about Melbourne Plus Ambassador for Sustainability Ambassador that was posted. And I know about that, and I try to reach again my friends, Ash and Chi, to ask them about the way how we can apply for that. And then they got me a lot of tips because they already work in the university as a student peer leader to help other students as well. So they give me a lot of tips and they share with me a lot of experience. And then from that, and of course with my research about sustainability as well. So I was successfully appointed as the sustainability ambassador at the Melbourne Plus team, working under Melbourne Plus team. And from that one, I was awarded sustainability award at the end of the year. And I think like by adding up some small things over time, it's not just overnight, but over time, and then you can see the trade of activity and the thing that you keep consistently do during the year. And at the end of that year, I got the news from the lecturer in our university, actually, Dr. Professor Shanton from the research and development subject. And he shared with me that he was very impressed by my, contribution to international student activity and community. And he shared that there's one opportunity open right now at the Study Melbourne, and maybe I can consider to apply for that. At that time, I not really know what a Study Melbourne Ambassador is. I just keep my curiosity again, and then I try to see how people do with that role and how Study Melbourne can support others. And I find the value alignment between me and Study Melbourne. And then I apply for that using my own experience that I already built up throughout the year and got a reference from the professor and got a reference from other my friends working as a student ambassador as well. So yeah, successfully I got it. And I think like success or one big thing or one big change in your life didn't happen when through one night or through one event. It needs to be connected through all the dots that you keep consistently doing throughout your whole period of time. So I think like consistency and keep your values up and always have a spirit of, you know, trying, exploring, and open yourself, I think is the key point for me. When just a small event at the beginning of the year, when I know now, when I know one at the university, and then at the end of the year, I got, yeah, I never can imagine that I can be Study Melbourne Ambassador and working under the state government of Victoria to support other international students as well. So I feel like it's such an amazing achievement to me. And thanks to all the people that, coming to my life at that time. But yeah, I think it's like connecting the dots and keep consistency throughout all the things that we do.
Yes, consistently working on some small things and let others know about that, and then the opportunity will just automatically comes to you. And you have managed to balance this community Hailey with an academic Hailey who has 3 Melbourne Plus credentials and at the same time an H1 WAM. As someone with a project management background, can I know about how do you manage that workload without burning out by withdrawal?
I think I learned that balance is not something that we do everything equally every day. But balance is knowing what the season you are in and what the period of time and what the priorities at that time. So I think like for example during the exam periods, I will be academic Haley. I will like reduce social commitments. I will prefer study sections. I block my calendar for study. I can even study like 10 or 11 hours per day. Yeah, and I give myself permission to less visible on social media and on external activity or outside activity. But during quieter academic periods, community Haley will become more active. And at attend events, I connect with my friends, I meet new people, I contribute more to the society. And I think like the biggest thing that helped me to do that the whole thing is about planning my energy, not just about planning my time. Yeah, I think like I know there's a lot of things will drain my energy or makes me need to focus on one task at a time. For example, like study. So it's kind of like we need to focus on the thing and we need to focus on the subjects that we are learning. But I find the purpose of learning So I can feel that it's not about I have to do it, but it's about I choose to do it and I enjoy doing it. And the same thing with doing community project. Like during my study, I still keep my time for meeting new friends or meeting my old friend and being present with that friend. Because I think that when we have a genuine conversation with friend and we can share, we can listen from each other, it helps me to review and recharge my energy. So it's more about I try to place them intentionally in my week, something that I need to pay more attention and effort to do, and something I really enjoy doing it. So, and another thing is about I'm not trying to be perfect in all the time or all the role at one moment, at one period. Like for some weeks, I think I define success as something like a strong assignment submission. For example, last week we got a lot of things to submit, but for this week, I prefer to be, resting a bit. And especially I'm having a very severe back pain right now. So I spent 3 days resting. So I feel like it's okay. We don't need to keep ourselves busy all the time, but instead just, have the goals for that period of time and then set our energy and time for it. So I think it's about the key point of be balanced and keep our balance in a very, tight schedule.
That's really cool because I feel many of the first year international students, they feel the difficulties in balancing their time. And your advice of having a very clear goal and having your time allocated based on the goal would be really helpful to them. And I just saw on your LinkedIn that you're also officially become an AFL fan. So why is engaging with local footy culture just as important for your career as attending for example, a formal networking event?
Well, yeah, actually, honestly, before coming to Melbourne, I'm not that into sport, but here when I came to Melbourne, like I started to feel that sport is one of the best ways people live fully and enjoy life. Yeah, so I think Melbourne is not only famous for education, but it's also famous for sport as well. That's why there's a lot of sport champion leagues or competitions happening here. Like we have tennis, Australian Open, we have AFL, we have Formula One, and we have a horse race course as well. So I think like for international students, there's a lot of opportunities for us to engage with local culture through sports, whether it is AFL, tennis, hockey, running clubs, or just going to watch a soccer rules match. So for me, I think AFL is not just about understanding the culture, the rule of games, but it's about how to connect with other people at that match as well. Because I think like it's not like formal networking event when we wear suit and tie and very ambitious at that event and share about the very like ambitious goal about career. In the sport event, it's more about we share about our hobby and we share about how things can happen in a match, very unexpected thing, and how we can enjoy life through sport and how we value the the way that players play in in the match as well. And I also think sport is a very good way for us to learn more about character, how we live. Like, for example, you can see persistence, we can see teamwork, we can see the fairness, we can see the resilience, and we can see how to be present in that moment. Because sometimes just when you miss just one moment of the match, right, you can miss the whole thing. So yeah, I think that through sport we can learn a lot and we can enjoy ourselves, and I feel like it add a new flavor in my life as well. It's not just about work, study, community project, but it's about sport and how we truly connect with ourselves and how we truly connect with the culture here and the people. So actually for international students, we don't need to know about the rule when we go to that match or that sport. just go there, just be curious, just go. And then when you see the vibe, right? When you see the people playing, and you have more aspiration to research more about the rule after the match. For example, I just go to the match of the AFL, and then I feel it's really cool. And then I come back home, I watch a lot of YouTube video, and I watch a lot of Instagram reels and posts, and then I see, oh, it's so interesting, and it adds up the interest for me gradually. So I think just keep it simple and naturally. You will like it, and you will see how sport can help you a lot to relax, to connect more with the people around you, and to connect more with the culture here in Melbourne.
Yeah, like every international student should explore more AFL because like you can feel the vibe and you can feel the enjoyment inside it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we are moving into the lightning one. So quick fire answers. First one, beyond the typical tourist spots, where should first year international students go to truly feel like a Melbourne local?
Okay, so I think I would say go to local market or maybe some local Sunday market or local, I guess, coffee shop. Yeah, so it's more about like you don't need to take a photo at very signature spot, but it's more about you can see how people live in their normal life. So I think it's the thing that make you feel more local. Yeah.
Second, what is a tool, no matter it's digital or analog, that kept your life organized during this transition?
Definitely Google Calendar. I can show you my Google Calendar last week and this week. Like I definitely Google Calendar is the best invention of life. Wow, actually, I use this for everything. I use it for classes, for lectures, for even my dinner, the time to catch up with my friends, and my sleep as well. So if it matters, it goes to calendar because I need to schedule my time and my energy for that. And especially add a buffer in your calendar, like add a time for yourself, not just at a time to do something, but at a time for you to enjoy something. Yeah.
Yeah, for every student who haven't had a calendar, highly recommend. If a student is listening today and they feel stuck or lonely, what is one thing that they should do in the next 24 hours to change that?
That's hard. I think it's about grab your phone and send a message to someone. Like you don't need to, isolate yourself, and you you should connect with anyone that you feel safe and you think that you can ask them to help with anything or maybe any concern that you have currently in your mind. Because I think that we have friends, we have connection, and when you feel stuck, the first thing first is go and share it out. So you can find a way to resolve it through other story. And sometimes you just need someone be there with you and listen to you. So it's a, a, a bit, or maybe much better, much release. So yeah, don't wait until you feel confident to reach out. Just reach out first and then confidence come later. And then when you have the confidence, come later. And then when you release your stress or maybe when you release your concerns, you can see things more clear in your mind. And then you can see the next steps to do, the action to do. So yeah, grab your phone and send a message.
Always friends.
Yeah.
So the last one, complete this sentence. A student's first year in Melbourne is successful if they...
I think if they become braver than they were when they first came to Melbourne. I think like not perfect, not fully, settle or not fully figure out everything, just braver than yourself before. You don't need to compare yourself with others because we have different timeline in life. So you just need to see that we make progress. We already have progress. We already move forward. Maybe just one step, it's okay. It's totally okay. But we move forward and we make progress. So I think that's the thing that you can be proud of yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, progress matters.
Mm.
And this comes the end of the podcast. Thank you for showing us that we just don't have to leave our past achievement behind to build a new future. We just have to use them to contribute to the community we're in. So if you want to follow Hailey's journey, just follow her on LinkedIn or use our platform. So Hailey, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so, got a lot of fun talking and enjoyment talking with you. Thank you so much and hope you guys enjoy the podcast.
See you next time. Bye bye.
See you. Bye.